Today, we're here to welcome the grantees of the 2022 year for bird. On the other side of the ocean, we've had a face-to-face meeting with the Israeli counterparts a couple of weeks ago, and we're happy to be able to do this with the US grantees today. And hope to see the US grantees face-to-face, or at least some of you soon. We will be hosting a reception in Washington, D.C. towards the end of June, and those of you who are in the vicinity will be invited and welcome to join. A few words about a bird today. A couple of days ago, we celebrated 46 years of our existence. Bird has started 46 years ago as a foundation that has traditionally supported innovation and technology, being initially in what we call the general bird cycle, agnostic to verticals. Since 2009, we gradually added what we call the vertical programs, which today are Bird Energy, Bird HLS, and Bird Cyber. And we actually have with us today grantees from all of these programs who were granted, as I mentioned, last year. Our mission officially is to stimulate, promote, and support joint industrial R&D of mutual benefit to Israel and the United States. And I want to emphasize two components of that mission that are of particular importance. One is the value to both countries, which eventually translates, when we do industrial R&D, value translates into a product that can be sold. I mean, the only way we know how to attribute value to result of our work is the fact that somebody is willing to pay for it. And the other aspect that is very important to every bird program is the aspect of collaboration. One of the things that is the foundation of everything we do is to encourage collaboration between US industry and the Israeli industry, and every one of the projects that you will be operating in, that collaboration is viewed to be a very important component of the success of that project. Today, our goal is to share with you a little bit what it means to be a bird grantee, and what the day-to-day of that actually means for you in terms of your relationship with the foundation and how we operate. And my colleagues will be sharing that with you very soon. But at the end of the day, we all want the same. We want you to execute your plan according to the plan submitted, and we want you to succeed. And our role is to be there to help you with that, to support you with that, and actually also be there if changes are needed. So not every R&D project always develops as expected. And when that happens, it requires a dialogue with us. It requires sometimes adjustments of plans, but we are there to support every eventuality that you may see in your project. And with that, I want to conclude my opening comments and emphasize that every one of the members of the bird team, which I will introduce to you in a second, is here to support you and to help you. And that is true for the next couple of years when you will be executing your project, and that will be true for the many years after, when you will be hopefully selling the successful commercial result of that project. So without further ado, what we're going to do now is first I will introduce the bird team, and then we will do a quick introduction of the participants on the call, and in a second I'll tell you how we're going to do that so we stay efficient. But first to the bird team. So we have with us the Israeli PBC team, which stands for the Prime Bird Contact. Most of you, or all of you, know at least one of those, starting from Limor, Nakar Vincent, who raised their hands, I hope, Tal Kelem, and Omer Carmel.
Hi.
Then we have Natalie Galperin, who is our CFO, and Tal Madhala, who works with her. And all of you will be talking a lot to both of them in the next couple of years. We have Chava Duchan, who manages all the operations for the foundation. We have Maha, who is in charge of our IT and information systems, and the three representatives in the United States. I see Andrea and Shiri. Anat is with us, but we can't see you, Anat.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm not sure what is wrong with the camera.
Your laptop. Your laptop is internal camera is the one that is on. You need to change that. I had the same problem just before we started, so I know how it looks like. Okay, so Anat Bujanover is our representative on the West Coast. Shiri is the representative in the middle part of the United States. She's located in Austin, Texas, and Andrea on the East Coast and located in New Jersey, but you'll find her wherever on the East Coast you think you need her, which is true, of course, also for the two others. Now to the introduction of our participants. What I'd like to do, with your permission, is read out the names of the companies that are supposed to be with us, the US companies. I'll ask one representative of each of those companies to introduce yourself, your US colleagues if they're on the call, and your Israeli partner if they're on the call, and add one sentence on what it is your project is all about. And given that we are all pressed for time and we want to do this efficiently, please be relatively short. So we will start with DABX, Demand Side Solutions. Rogier.
Yes, hi, good morning, good afternoon, whatever. So it's Roger van Vlissingen, and I am based in Bronx, New York. And I have two partners, one of whom is an electrical engineer and the other one a CPA. And we're working with Dr. Ten from Israel and the Netherlands on a pilot for 2 years for a sea salt-based battery.
Okay, so I was just going to say that we're starting with people from the general program, but you are actually from Bird Energy. So my list has a mistake in it. Next from the general program is Hellbender.
Hi, I'm Brian Byer from Hellbender. On the call with me is Mike Ramsey, our VP of Engineering, and our partner company is Apiro Motion. I didn't see any of their names on the call, but it's quite a big list to scroll through. So hopefully they're on as well. We're a 32-person AI-ready IoT and robotics sensors company based in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and we're making a ultra low light robotic navigation kit. So this is ROS 2.0 for other technology nerds that are on the call. Ready device that incorporates a safety module with 3D sensing for general purpose in intelligent mobile robots. Thank you.
Thank you. High tolerance.
Hi, my name is Lindsay. I'm representing High Tolerance. I work as an accountant for them. High Tolerance is a regenerative medicine company for diabetes, and we're looking forward to hearing more about Bird.
Okay, JF Allen. Anybody from
This is
JF
Darren
Allen?
Glover. I'm the CFO for JF Allen Company, and we are partnering with Jeremy and Leora with EPC and working on wastewater treatment plants, standalone wastewater treatment plants.
Thank you. Siemens?
Hello, my name is Anand Kulkarni. I'm with Siemens Corporation in Charlotte, North Carolina. We are partnering with Castor 3D for automated calculation of carbon dioxide footprint for traditional and additive manufacturing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Sign Expo? Gadi?
Ofer.
Yes, this is Ofer. My name is Ofer Shoabi. Company is Sign Expo, and we're partnering with KA Dynamic to develop reflective digital board that uses extremely low energy. That's basically.
Okay. Ultraflex?
Yes, hi. I'm Natalia Curran. I'm a financial controller for Ultraflex Power Technologies. We're partnering with New Phase in developing new innovative lung cancer treatment.
Thank you. Vinergy?
Hi, everybody. My name is Justin Meng. I'm the president and CEO of Vinergy. We're partnering, we're actually located in Bakersfield, California, in the US, and we're partnering with Tavel in Israel to develop a autonomous harvesting system. Essentially, Vinergy, we develop electric and autonomous vehicles that navigate orchards and vineyards. And Tavel has a flying autonomous robot that picks fruit. And so we are partnering together. Essentially, we're the feet and they're the hands, and we're really excited to partner with them.
Thank you. So that should be all the grantees from the BIRD General Program. We will now move to the BIRD Cyber Program. Bastazo?
Hi, this is Jadi. Bastazo is a cybersecurity company. We partner with Salvador Technologies to develop a software tool for ICS vulnerability management, monitoring, and recovery. This is our first BIRD grant. We are very excited to work on this. Thank you.
Thank you. And Trend Micro?
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Ed Cabrera. I'm the Chief Cybersecurity Officer at Trend Micro, and we're partnering with Riscana. And our focus area is to develop a real-time risk assessment solution for seaports. Our focus is on seaports, even though the category included airports. So we're really excited to get started and really be a part of a great grant program.
Thank you. Moving to BIRD Energy, we already had the one company from there, and then now we have Ritu. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing this correctly.
Ritu, that's Ritu. This is Jason Wirt. I'm the market leader for renewable energy for Ritu. We are partnered with XFloat. I believe Dotan Borenstein is on the call as well. And we are deploying single axis tracker floating solar here in the United States together. XFloat has developed a product, and we are assisting them with its deployment here in the US.
Okay. And Sign Expo we already discussed, which was also BIRD Energy. And the last that I have on my list from BIRD's HLS is iCloud. iCloud?
Yes, hi. This is Paul Yuan. I'm the founder and CEO of iCloud, based in San Jose, California. We're partnering with Dr. Hagei Klein's team at CyberBee, working on a vision-based autonomous flying drone project. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone that I missed? And I apologize in advance, but I'd rather you introduce yourself than I miss you. No. Okay, so we do have a complete list. Okay, so thank you very much for the patience for this introduction, and we'll move now to some more detailed presentation. I'm happy to present to you again Omer, who will present himself and what he's going to talk about.
Yeah, so thank you, Aaron. Again, my name is Omer Karmel, Director of Business Development at the BIRD Foundation, located in Tel Aviv. And I'll review with you the technical reporting and how to manage all this process related to it. So let me just upload the presentation, the deck. Okay, can everybody see the presentation?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So, as you know, I mean, you have a prime bird contact for each project, and each one of us is handling more than one project. So at some point, we would like to get in touch with you on special occasions once every 6 months or so, and review the status of the project. And this includes both the technical status and the fiscal status of the project. And to monitor it, to see you know, how you're doing and what's the actual status of the project compared to the original plan. And for us, this is an opportunity to be on the same page at least once every 6 months and discuss what's going on. And essentially, this allows us to assist you in making better decisions, which sounds a little bit awkward, but I'll give you a few examples which exemplify this, statement. So the most common one is identifying early whether you need some additional time to complete your project. And if that's the case, we'll advise you to consider asking for some extension. And I remind everybody that you have, you can do it only if you have at least 3 months before the project completion. Another example is evaluating whether you optimally, if you utilize your grant in an optimal manner. You don't want to find yourself by the end of the project where you left significant amount of dollars on the table, so to say. So if we'll find out that this is the case, we'll advise you making some adjustment maybe to your project plan and improve your grant utilization. So as Yaron already mentioned, I mean, remember that we want you to succeed and we'll assist you the most if you'll keep us updated on the project status. And I don't know if you've seen it a lot, but there is a famous movie, Jerry Maguire, with the known phrase, "Help me to help you." So this is pretty much the same case here. You know, keep us updated and we'll be able to assist you. So what's the process related to the reporting? So we divide the project into segments. In most cases, each segment duration is about 6 months. There may be some special cases where the duration is not divided by 6, the amount of months, but pretty much we try to, and then we'll make some adjustment. And everything, by the way, is mentioned in your CPFA. And by the end of each segment, we ask you to, we're asking you and we will ask you to send us the technical and fiscal reports by the end of each segment. There is a single one technical report, which is co-signed by the partners, and we ask you to submit it together. And each company should send us its fiscal report separately, and we expect to receive both the soft copies and the hard copies. The soft copies are sent using the upload system, which you should be familiar with already. And for the hard copies, we still need and ask you to send us it to our office in Tel Aviv by courier. So make sure that the periods appearing on the both the technical and the fiscal reports are the same. when we'll receive the hard copies, we'll start each PBC will start reviewing it, and the finance team will review the fiscal report. And if there will be any questions or outstanding issues which would like to verify, we'll ask for an e-meeting with you. And remember that the approval of the reports are prerequisite for the continued funding of your project, so you don't want to have any delays with sending the reports or delays related to issues which relates to the content which appears in the reports. By the end of the project, we ask you to send a final report and again fiscal report, and I'll tell you more about it later on. So this is an example of a project. As you can see, it lasts for 18 months. So it is divided into 3 segments. The project always begins at the effective date, which is the date we assume you start working with your partner. And in this example, we'll expect to receive the first interim report by month 7, the second one by month 18, and we give you 2 months for sending us the final report. So you have, in this example, we'll expect to receive it by month 20. Sorry. The project always is concluded at the what we call the termination date, which is the date where the project is concluded. Okay. Some general guidelines regarding the reports. Basically, try to work by the book. We provide you with a very detailed booklet, which I'll show you where you can find it. And the technical reports also is built with very detailed templates with specific instructions how to fill them. So just read the instruction and follow the guidelines, and try to keep the reports simple and comprehensible. Remember that each one of us is handling more than one report, and in most cases we are not experts like you in your field. So if you're using some acronyms or some professional definitions, explain yourself, provide some glossary table and so forth. And again, I mean, if we'll find the reports difficult to understand, if we'll think that there is some missing information, or you're not following the guidelines and the templates we provided, or if there are some unexplained deviations from the original project plan, this could definitely delay the approval of these reports, and as a result of this, a delay in the payment for the next segment. So try definitely to avoid such occasions. Well, the place where you can find all these templates, again, everything is on our website. Okay, so you can always go back to the website and refresh your memory if needed. If you'll go to the guidelines and forms drop-down list and choose the procedure and submission forms, this will open this window, and choosing the link to the reporting procedure and forms will open this window, the next one, and you can see it is divided into 3 main parts. The first one is this is the booklet I mentioned earlier. All the guidelines and the instructions can be found there. So again, I mean, you can always refresh your memory. And for the interim reports, we have a link to the technical report and the link to the fiscal report, which Natalie will explain you more about after this this part. And for the final report, you can find here 4 links. The first 2 links are related to the technical report. It is actually, in the final report, the technical report is divided into 2 parts. The first one is a Word document, and the second one is Excel file. And this link is a YouTube link with a webinar explaining how to use the Excel file for the final report. And again, you have the link to the fiscal report. Yeah, so I'll very briefly review the content of the technical report. I won't go into each and every section. I'll just review what you'll find over there. So this is the cover page, the first page of the report, and this is actually the last page you'll deal with before sending us the report. Just make sure to fill in all the missing information, and specifically the project number, the segment that this report covers, the dates, obviously the names of the companies, the reporting segments, the dates which this report covers. There are 2 places for signature of the companies and the date of the submission. And in the table of contents, I'll review briefly the different sections you'll find in the report. So obviously the table of contents, nothing to say about it. Sections 2, 3, and 4, these sections will assist us understand the actual project status and how it compares with the original project plan. So this covers the objectives and the work performed during the segment, the summary of accomplishment of the segment, and the results, and which include the milestone and the deliverables which you have achieved and reached, hopefully, in this segment. Section 5 deals with the planned task for the next segment and the planned milestones and deliverables. And section 6 is in a way a summary of section 2 to 4. This is actually the updated Gantt chart of the project, and it should demonstrate all the issues which were mentioned in section 2, 3, and 4. And we obviously want to understand and see, you know, how the project progresses based on the updated Gantt chart. Section 7 deals with the cooperation between the companies, and here we always emphasize that the importance of good collaboration and communication between the partners. And I can tell you that based on our experience, this is one of the key ingredients for a successful BERT project. So we encourage you to build some mechanism to that will make sure that, you know, the communication between the companies is good, and you take care of it. Section 8. In section 8, we ask you to revisit the risk analysis and update it if you identify any changes in the risk related to the project. And this goes also for, in section 9, if you identified any changes in the market which could affect the project itself and the project deliverables. In section 10, we'd like to know if there were any material you've published during the segment, and I remind everybody that we ask you to, if you have any material that you are going to publish, we ask you to mention the BERT contribution and assistance to this project. And we leave open space for appendices if you have some additional material you would like to share with us, which you think is relevant. So the final report, the final technical report, As mentioned already, it is divided into two parts. Part one, which is a Word document, and part two, which is an Excel file. And part one, the Word document is almost the same as the interim report. And we've added two additional sections, section 11 and section 12, which deals with the market forecast and the market size. And the Excel file, which I've mentioned, is the one you will be using in order to get all the calculation which are related to what we ask you to present in section 11 and 12. And in the final report, we also ask you to provide a deck which summarizes the project and all the details on how to fill it and build it is located in the final report template. So again, I remind you where to find the final report templates. I've mentioned it already. And then again, I mean, in order to send the soft copies to us, I mean, use the upload system you're already familiar with. Just enter your username and password, choose the right project, and upload. You have a place to upload the technical report, the fiscal reports for each company. And again, unfortunately, we still want you and ask you to send us the hard copy, which is currently still essential. I mean, we're working to digitize the whole process, but it takes some time. Finally, I want to mention that you can find some assistance and guidance again on the site. Again, go to the guidelines and form drop-down list and use the and choose the fiscal and technical meetings, where you'll find both the recording of this and previous webinars we had, with a more detailed explanation, by the way, than I'm giving you right now. And you'll have access also to the presentation itself themselves. So that's it. I think now Natalie is ready for.
Just before we move on, first of all, thank you, Omer. Wow, see you very big. Does everybody see you this big? Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Thank you, Omer. I want to emphasize again the fact that it is not a coincidence that we are. Natalie, wait a second, please, with the sharing. It's not a coincidence that we are asking the technical report as opposed to the fiscal report, which Natalie will talk about in a second, to be a joint report of both the Israeli and the US company. Because we believe this is a tool not only for us to follow your progress and plan, but also as important is the fact that it is a very important tool to support the collaboration of both companies and their internal synchronization. So we encourage you to work on this together and submit it together. That's how we read it, and that's how we expect to do it. And just before we move on, I have this failure with that whenever I introduce people on my team, I always forget someone. Today I forgot Oshrat, who is with us, so I want to apologize for that. Oshrat is our PA in the Tel Aviv office. Oshrat, raise your hand so people can see who you are. And she will be the first one to talk to you when you address us, actually, either by mail or by phone. So a very important person in the whole process. And with that, I want to move it on to Natalie. Just one more comment. When Natalie finishes, we have committed to a stop. We all value everybody's time at 45 minutes after the hour. The plan is to leave 10-15 minutes for questions and answers. which if we get to when we do that will be obviously interactive. But if we don't have enough time to answer all your questions, feel free to use the chat to send us questions. We will gather those questions, and whatever we won't answer on the call today, we will make sure to send responses to all of you in writing following the call. And with that, Natalie, the floor is yours.
Okay, so hi again, and good day, everyone. I'd like to go, I'll be presenting the fiscal report and the main issues and the main items that you should be noticing when you prepare the report. So it will be about the structure and the content of the fiscal report, the required documentation, how to handle variations from a budget, and later on just briefly describe the commercialization reports. The fiscal report contains 10 sections. Most of them, up to section 8, are various budget and expenses items which are classified just as you've done that in the proposal. First, you'll see the cover page. Here you see all those yellow sections. You should be filling out those sections. The bird reference number, which you probably know by now, it's a 4-digit number. Project title and company name, since the same report with the same title refers to 2 companies. Type of report, that is an interim report unless it is the last report which is final. The segment, it will be from the first day of a specific month until the last day, usually 6 months later. And the start date, that is the effective date that when the project started, it will appear in the CPFA under section P. Here we just see a summary which will be filled out from and populated from later pages. You can see here the cumulative actual. Those are the expenses reported on a cumulative basis so far. That means that for segment 2, for example, it will show segment 1 and 2 on cumulative basis. Then you see the total budget, approved budget. You can copy it from Annex A of the CPFA. That is the full budget for the entire project, not for the segment. And just for reference, you can see the percentage utilization out of the total budget. At the bottom, you also have the current reporting budget for this current segment and your initial estimation. Here it is just for reference to see whether you are within your plan or you are deviating, and that may signal something to you or to us. Then you have the signature page. And now we're looking into the report itself. So first tab in the Excel sheet will be direct labor. Here you should be filling out the employees that worked during the reported segment, the profession that is more specific, the profession on the project. For example, a CEO that has a specific, for example, R&D work or marketing duties, it should be specified here as well, not just CEO, but also marketing or business dev or other things. Month on project, those should be the full month. For example, if somebody worked one week out of a month, you should fill out one month. And then when you see the percent on project, the 1 week for this month will be a quarter. And if it is, that is 25%. And if the reporting segment is 6 months, so it will be 25%. I mean, it will be a quarter out of 1/6 of the reporting segment. Gross salary. Here it should be already a multiplication of the applicable percentage worked out of the segment. In a simple example, out of 6 months, if somebody worked full 3 months, it will be 50% of a 6-month salary. And the same for social benefits. You should note that the Excel sheet is a simple type in Excel. That means that there is no formula behind this cell. You should multiply it outside of this Excel sheet and just type in the value of the gross salary and social benefit. You'll notice also the total previously reported. That applies from segment 2. You should copy the balances from segment 1 and type in those values. And you carry forward from segment to segment those values. Approved contract budget should be copied from Annex A of the CPFA. Some specific instructions in the US companies, the salary cap is $175,000 for a full-time employee for 1 year. So you should deduct and compute the relative portion that is applicable to your reporting segment. You'll also notice the 25% overhead. Those reflect general overhead for staff such as legal staff, finance staff, general management. You don't need to present any justification or salary slips or anything that to show those expenses. It is just granted to you on top of the reported expenses. Everything here is explained verbally as well. Next item on the fiscal report is equipment. Here you should specify line items of relevant equipment. Those could be also major categories with an applicable schedule at the end of the report, where you can go invoice by invoice and describe all those equipment items. A date of purchase. Here, that is the only exception in the fiscal report, that you can purchase an item before the effective date. Just to be clear on that, any other expense can start only on the effective date. For equipment, we allow to report on pieces of equipment that were purchased prior to the project. Of course, you should adjust the percentage on a project to be something that is meaningful and reflect actual percentages. That means that it can't be 100%, for example, since it was purchased prior to the project. It should be something that makes sense. So you have your purchase price, percentage on project, the same thing for number of months on the project, and the other computations are similar to salaries and okay, so you should also note that for equipment and that is a general instruction, you should keep all documentation for an audit. We always audit the projects at the end of the project. So at that time we'll be asking for proof of payment, we'll be asking for invoices, and we'll be for certain things we'll be asking to see the agreements, for example, with subcontractors or consultants. Travel, it can be either domestic travel in US or in Israel, or foreign travel. So here you should report the person who made the trip, dates of travel, destination, that is actual destination / purpose of trip, what is charged to the project. If the trip was taken for several purposes, for example, out of 5 days, you had 2 days of conference that is relevant to bird and other days for other purpose. So you should take 2 out of 5 of the total expenses for the trip. We allow the usual expenses, air ticket, economy or business, hotels, car rental, daily allowance, everything according to what is used in your organization. You don't need a different reporting than what you use in your practice. We also have materials as allowed expenses in the project. So here you should report again by major classes of items, and later on you'll have a specific sheet for each schedule to detail at the invoice level. Same charge to project, previously reported, and budget. Same applicable to subcontractors. Also, you should notice that subcontractors and consultants should be either in Israel or in US. If you have those items in a different country, you should ask for a specific request ahead of time. It is not a common. It's not a common expense that we allow. It has to be requested separately. Under other budget items, I don't have the table here, but it's the same. You can include regulatory activities, patenting expenses, exhibitions, marketing, all those other things that weren't reported previously. For patent expenses, we allow only registration costs. That means not the consultants, not the legal advisors, but only consultants. It is important because for regulatory activities, we do allow to report the consultant fees. So just be aware of this distinction. For patents, you can we allow for the first patent 20,000 in one country and the additional 5,000 in another country, and the same for the second patent. Here's just an example what the supporting schedule looks like. So you can see here for each line item that you had previously reported, you should have here at an invoice level, one by one, everything described. Invoice date, invoice number, and date of payment. Those are just various examples of, yeah. Now I'd like to present variation from budget. It is quite common that budget is not, actually the expenses are not exactly according to budget, and companies will ask to revise the budget. So for each section in the item, in the budget, a deviation of up to 15%, it is something that you don't need to ask for a revision. You can just deviate up to that extent. If you'd like to have a greater deviation, then first of all, you should be underspending in another budget item. The entire budget doesn't change. What was approved to you initially in this CPFA will remain the same throughout the project. You should send us a letter explaining the nature of the revision that you are requesting. A budget revision is a separate letter for a specific company. That means it's not joint. The company that asked for a revision should send us this letter and should send us the revised budget. Those are the 2 pages summary. You don't need to send us task by task revision request, just the summary pages. We'll consider it. It should be, you can send it several times throughout the project, but no later than 3 months prior to project termination. Not so often, but it does happen that companies would like to allocate the budget between the two partners in a different manner. Then the letter should be joined, and each company should also submit its own revised budget request. Here's just a numerical example of a budget and the actual expenses in case there was no, the company didn't ask for a budget revision. Again, if the company asks for a budget revision, they should act according to the approved revised budget. So here we can see the original budget on the left column. It adds up to a total of 693,000 with those various budget items. Then at the center, at the middle, we see the actual expenses. So for direct labor, the company was underspent. The company reported 450,000, and that is assuming everything was according to our procedure, we will recognize 450,000. For materials, the company spent 80,000, and again, we can recognize 80,000. For foreign travel, the company reported 20,000. The budget was 10,000. So we can deviate 15%, and we will allow 11,500. It is also allowable since the budget was underspent in other budget items. For subcontractors, the actual spending was 70,000. So we can allow again 15% above budget. We will allow 57,500 for this budget item. For consultants, the company didn't have any budget. They spent 45,000. Since there was no budget item, there's no deviation here. We can't accept any expense for this item. So in total, we can see that out of a budget of 660,000, actual spending was in fact above budget, yet the company utilized only 599,000. And it's not because they didn't spend enough on the project, but just because the procedure is such that, as we've seen, we can't allow all those reported expenses. Then we have the additional 5%. That is a general allowance for general overhead costs. You don't need to have any invoices for that and no proof of payment. It is just granted to you on top of the budget. So your total budget in this case, the company has a recognized budget of 628, and the grant will be paid according to this budget, 50% of this recognized amount. Now, I'd like just shortly to discuss the commercialization report. Up to now, you've seen the fiscal report, which is relevant for the project for the two and a half years when you are reporting expenses. At the end of the project, once you're done with receiving payments for us, we'll be following up on your project to see whether there are any sales. For that, we'll be sending you every 6 months a short report, asking you to report sales. If there are any sales, you should be reporting 5% of that as royalties. And there are also some questions that are relevant to those sales and the product and things that around the numbers, so we know better what are you selling. I'm just showing the slides. I won't go over it since you won't see those reports until 2 years and further down. So you can see it's a short report with some questions here, and the forecast for the semi-annual periods down the line. Okay, so again, good luck with the project, and you can contact us if you're not clear about the budget, how to report, where you stand with your actual expenses. You're welcome to contact us and we'll assist you.
Thank you, Natalie. And is there anybody on the bird team that wants to add something, or this is the time? Tal, you're looking to speak, or you're just sitting up straight?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay. Okay.
So I have a quick question. For these slides, are these all on the site, or will they be sent to us?
Yeah, it's on our website, yes.
Okay, great, thanks.
And we will also send you the link following, there's several people that haven't really attended, so we're going to send everybody the informations, including the link to this recorded Zoom plus the slides.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
If I may say one word, I think this was mentioned by Omer, but the Bird Foundation is funded by the US government and the Israeli government. And just like was mentioned before, it's really important for us to share the success of the partnership between the companies. And therefore, if you need our assistance in publishing press release about your joint partnerships, about your advancement during the program, we'll be more than happy to try to support you, whether it's through our social media for organizations, and obviously in Israel, maybe it can also help you in promoting the press release or any type of promotion for our own Israeli PR. Reminding you that this, at the end of the day, it's public funding that belongs to the citizens of Israel, United States, and it's really important for us to share and support you in the process.
Yeah, Oren, I want to add something. I know that some of the companies here didn't sign yet the CPFA, so they may be overwhelmed with the information and might think that it's too much information and that they are not in the right stage yet. So one thing is that this session is recorded and you will be able to access it. Maha is recording it. Second, we have a YouTube channel with all our webinars recorded, and you can see even longer webinar from previous years where Omer and Natalie explain everything, even in more details if required. So you don't need to remember everything by heart. You have a chance to review this information when time will come. Maybe your first report will be only 9 months from now, and you won't remember much of what was said here. But again, we have it recorded here today, and also on the YouTube channel. Just look for Bird Foundation on YouTube. Thank you.
And you can always send us emails if you have any questions. We will be more than glad to help you and assist you.
Of course.
And just to add, sorry, somebody had a question? Okay.
No.
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who is the contact person for helping us with the voice release?
Ofer, I'm your PBC, and you should contact me for anything.
Okay, thank you.
Just one additional word on, and Tal mentioned there are people here that have not signed their CPFA yet, which is their agreement with us. For those, I want to make clear, that there is a process, as I'm sure you by now are all aware of, that goes on from the moment you are actually approved to when you get the first transfer of money from us, where you need to basically deal with supplying us some information, but mostly deal with two legal agreements. One is the agreement between you and your partner, and the other one following that is the agreement with us. That unfortunately takes some time because lawyers are involved. But the intent from our perspective is to help you speed that up as fast as possible. There is, you all submitted a proposal because you wanted to go do a project, and we all share the desire to move ahead with it, and we all understand the importance of time. So please, if do everything within your power, within your organization, to speed this process up. And if there's any time a sense that we are not responding fast enough, don't hesitate to raise your hand and say so. Although I can tell you the team on our side is very, very committed to make this process go as smoothly and as fast as possible. Any other questions? Great. So again, I thank you all for joining the Bird family. I look forward to actually me and the rest of the team to meeting, if not all of you, most of you in person over the next couple of years. We are all traveling. Definitely the three representatives that are local in the United States, but also the Israeli team and myself. Traveling quite often to the United States, and we'll make it a point to come to visit you. And as everybody already has said, we're here to help, and we wish you all success. Thank you for your attention, and we'll see you all as we move on. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Good luck.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, buddy.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.